Young people and nature. These elements have been blended to create a unique program of environmental experiences. The National Wildlife Federation has brought numbers of young people together at Wildlife Camp, where they share a potpourri of knowledge and discoveries with experienced counselors committed to living and learning with youth in the out-of-doors. These ingredients form the essence of the total environmental experience known as a special blend.
You watch a lot of baseball down here, or what?
No, I like to play soccer myself.
Oh,
You know, fellas, some of you are wondering why we started camp, and this year the National Wildlife Federation has started Wildlife Camp. And the reason we started this Wildlife Camp was for young people your age, so that you will gain a better understanding of your own environment and be able to gain a greater appreciation for the wonderful outdoors. And I know some of you were asking me earlier as you registered what camp would be like this year. And we've set camp up so that the first 2 days, on Monday and Tuesday, that's tomorrow, the next day, you'll be exploring 16 major areas ranging from birds to mapping to plant life. And then, after you've explored all 16 areas, 8 on Monday and 8 on Tuesday, then Tuesday evening we'll sit down and I'll draw up a master chart, and you'll be able to decide on the 2 major areas that interest you the most. And the next day, I'll put you into those major areas, and you'll do 1 major activity in the morning, you do another major activity in the evening, and you'll specialize for the next 8 days in those particular areas so that you can become sort of specialists. But we also have traditional camp activities like most of you may be used to. And so every morning and every afternoon we'll have another block of time when you'll be involved in, traditional camp activities. And then in the evening, after our evening meal, we set aside a special time when you'll be able to explore special interests. And those special interests range from independent studies that you might want to do to arts and crafts. You may want to work on insects. Some of the students your campers may be interested in creative dramatics. And so there's a whole variety of activities that can be offered in the interest sessions. And then following that, we'll probably have a special evening program, and there'll be time for bed. Early in the learning experience, campers design and develop their own equipment for use in the field. The keynote is discovery, and by constructing their own land, aquatic, and weather instruments, a greater understanding of the techniques involved in environmental study is gained.
This is a small mammal trap. It consists of a mouse trap and a piece of wire mesh and an ordinary food can. And what happens is the mouse or critter will crawl up and trigger this, and you have a mouse or whatever inside the trap. Its purpose is for sampling small mammals.
This weather station was made by Mini-Climates. Mini-Climates tells the weather and also tells the climate of quadrants and plots of land. The thing with the feather is the wind direction. It shows which way the wind is blowing. That thing is the wind speed detector. As you see, there's numbers of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35 to show how fast the wind is going. The thing with the purple liquid in it is a private project for humidity. The thing up on the pole is a rain gauge, and today when it rained, it measured 1 inch. The thermometer is the usual thermometer. Everything in this weather station was made in the workshop and is handmade except for the thermometer. This is a sling side chronometer for telling humidity. You see, it has this piece of string which you wet, and you swing it around, and that's the wet bulb reading, and you compare the two, and you get how much percent the humidity is of the air. Today's weather report was that it would stay normal and cloudy.
These are the outer tail feathers. They're different colors than the inner tail feathers on a lot of birds. Right here are some wing bars. Some birds have them, some birds don't. There's a number of different colors. This is the back, the eye, and the crown.
Another early bird is the cardinal, page 327. At first, he sounds like someone whistling for his dog, but soon he varies his notes until we think it must be another bird singing.
A study of the nocturnal habits of campers reveals that they exhibit a wide variety of interests after dark.
We made this bug trap from a light trap from an old Clorox bottle, and all we did was cut it in half and put the top into the bottom, so it made a sort of a funnel. And you just hang it over a light, and you turn it on and off. There's some poison in the bottom, and the light attracts the bugs, and since it's evaporating, it goes up like that. The bugs fly towards the light, and then they're killed by the poison that's coming up.
Hey, Jeff, did you get some things to add to your collection?
Oh, yeah, I got some really neat stuff, but I don't see how the beetles get inside of it.
Well, what happens, like these big June beetles, they get attracted to the light. They feed on plants at night, but they're attracted to the light because of the heat and partly the color. And so they come over and fly around, and they get closer and closer, and then the fumes start hitting them, and they try to stay closer, and then they fall right down inside, and then you get another June beetle. Did you get a lot more tonight?
Yeah, I got about 2 more.
Did you get any crane flies?
Oh, yeah, I got a couple. They're at the bottom, though, and they're hard to get without breaking their legs.
They got long legs. Did you see, if you look real closely, you can see instead of a second pair of hind wings, they have those little sticks with a knob at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It's called a haltere, and it's a stabilizer for when they fly. And everything in the fly family has that.
Oh, that's weird.
Did you get any lightning bugs?
Uh-huh. I let them all go except for this little small one.
Yeah. It's pretty little.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
When you go into a mountain community, you go respecting the ways of the people. Some years ago, I went to call on the oldest woman in a little community. Her name was Susan, and she lived with her daughter, Nerve. Nerve invited me to come in and get you a cheer, so I did. Susan came in and sat down in the corner in a straight chair, and she looked at me from deep within the recesses of her big sunbonnet, but she didn't speak to me. Nerve didn't say anything, and after a while I realized that if there were to be any conversation, it was up to me to get it underway. So I commented on the crops that were growing in the community. Nerve said, yeah, the corn's yeared out pretty good up the creek now. And then she didn't say any more. So I thought of something else. I asked about the health of one and another in the community. And Nerve said, well, some's just tolerable, others ain't much. But then she volunteered that Alf's boy had been snake bit, but they'd split a raw chicken in 2 and had made a poultice out of it, and she said that drawed the poison out. Still, there hadn't been any comment from Susan, sitting over in the corner, watching me from deep within that sunbonnet. When I felt that it was time to leave, I was afraid that my visit had been a complete failure because Susan hadn't said anything to me at all. Nerve said, you better just stay with us, and that pleased me, but then I realized that that's the mountaineer's way of saying goodbye, so I answered in the customary way. I said, you better go with me. It was then that Susan got up out of her chair and came over and put out her hand, and she said, I love to shake hands with good folks. She had let me talk until she had convinced herself that I was someone with whom she could feel at home. The mountain folks are wary, and they let you tell what they want to know about you, and then they take you in as friends.
tonight we're going to try and call barred out, okay? Now to do this, we want to try and get them close. So we're going to have to be really quiet, see if we can get them close, okay?
Where does the barred owl live in the forest?
They live in open stream valleys.
How long have you been doing it?
5 years about. It started with a couple friends way back when.
How long is it taking you to get an owl?
Oh, usually, I don't know, it depends on the night. On clear nights, it takes longer for some reason. But, I don't know, about 5 minutes to half an hour even.
Do you ever have them come in and fight, like two males or something like that?
Sometimes you'll get in the corner of a territory, and they'll come in together because the owl calls territorial. And what you're doing, you're faking out the owl. They think you're in his territory, and he comes to defend it. And that's his call when he calls to defend his territory. So sometimes you get in the border and you get 2 or 3 owls calling, answering you.
Do they usually come in groups?
No, they usually are pretty single. They don't come very often in groups.
Okay, now let's try the same thing again, just taking these spines with your instamatic.
Okay. Not quite sure about how to set it on there.
Okay, you need to angle it off this way. This frame right here frames what you'll actually see in the camera.
Yeah.
And you can't look through here because this metal part's blocking it out. So just look down here. Go ahead and grab a hold of it.
Okay.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, you can hold it.
Okay.
I never worked with this type of camera before.
Okay, the button for the trip is right up here, and you just push it down that way.
Okay.
Okay. And if you want me to move this around anyway, you tell me, so it frames the picture as you see it. Right here is the boundary.
Okay, I think that looks about right.
Okay. Go ahead and flip it. Okay, do you want to try a different angle?
Yeah.
Okay, how about... You tell me. Higher, lower?
A little bit higher.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah, it looks about right.
Okay, now I need to lower it down just a little bit so that the leaves there are in your frame right there. Okay?
Okay.
How's that?
That looks pretty good. Okay.
If you want me to change it at all, let me know.
No, that looks okay.
Okay.
Nighttime orienteering is a tool for working with nature at night. When the sight is shaded by darkness, skills with map and compass can open new paths to those who were once wary of night travel.